Great are you, Lord. You are great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. You are great. You are great. Great are you. You are so great. You are great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. You are great. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Oh, wow. God is merciful. God is full of love. God is great. God is love. And God is amazing. I must say, God is amazing. And I'm saying this because sometimes we find ourselves in a place where we think being Christian doesn't mean that you're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be surprised by the things that you do, right? You're not going to be surprised. So sometimes you find yourself just showing certain anger or frustration or jealousy or ill competition or something like that, right? And the idea of being a Christian always reminds you that, hey, guy, you're a child of God. You can't really be exhibiting this. You can't be doing this habit. You can't be doing 1, 2, 3. And as a child of God, you just see yourself going directly to whatever that is happening. Let's say, for example, for me, when you're at work and you just have this guy who's always working on your nerve, and you take the punches because you turn the other cheek because you're the child of God, and what happens is at some point you actually get to a point where you get frustrated and you actually show it that no, I'm tired of you. You can't always be doing this, or you can't always be treating me like this. And when it comes out, it comes as if it was bottled, and that ability to bottle something for so long, and it comes out not right because you are protecting yourself from having to exhibit a certain emotion towards someone, even though they're actually provoking it, but you try by all means not to show it. And even in that, when you look back, you're like, I know that I was not supposed to do that, but I did it. I was like, no, I'm not going to take it anymore from this guy. I'll tell him my 2 cents as well as a child of God, right? And it always hits you when you get home, if you're getting home, or whatever. When you're done with that, you feel it. That no, oh, wow, what have I just done? And most of the time, that is where I actually realized this song. Great are you, Lord. The ability of God being able to still care and listen to us as we're acting the way that we're acting, right? The ability for him to still speak to us, the ability for us to still hear his voice, the ability for us to hear ourselves asking ourselves, but I shouldn't have done that, right? And it shows how great God is. It shows how great God is. So I guess this video is just going to be about saying that God is great. God is. You usually hear people say that I love my children. I'm not a parent yet. How much our parents have so much grace towards us. They're patient with us. And for some odd reason, we think God should be super angry when we do something wrong. And if our parents really can forgive us for some of the mistakes that we did, some of the things that we have done, then I think God does it far better. And this goes to not only Christians, but it goes as well to anyone else there, because I think this message is the same with everyone, because some of you guys you have a conscience, and that's a way of God still sanitizing you, that no, you can't always be going over the edge, and he always talks to you via that conscience to bring you back in line. And sometimes like what I was talking about, like bottling rage, like this guy is provoking you, but somehow this is not only, because for me as a child of God I will always reference the Holy Spirit, but even for you as someone who's not born again, you have the conscience that say that no, but I was not supposed to do that, right? But that's just God just extending his hand towards you and saying, I know you would have done better. And he still talks to us, he still speaks to us. And wow, all I can say is wow. So, what is the purpose of this video? To tell you that God is amazing, God is great, great are you, Lord. And for someone who's probably wondering what's the name of the song, who sings the song, it's Sinach, and I guess the song is called Great Are You, Lord. And I was doing Nosi's rendition at my church. She sings it very well. But yeah, for anyone who is listening to this, I just want to tell you that God is great. And every time you act out of character, we'll talk about some of these things. When you talk about it, I understand why for pastors it's so difficult to preach and stick to a point, right? Because when you're sticking to a point, it's like you're saying something, but you feel like, if I don't say this without a build-up of this, it makes it hard for you to stick to this point. But, and kudos to the pastors who do that each and every Sunday. Maybe it's a skill that they've already done or worked on, which is probably what I'm supposed to be doing as well, sticking to a point. So, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that God is great, even when you are at that point where you feel like you just did something which was out of character, something which was out of yourself. I want to put it like that, doing something out of yourself. What I want to say is, look, it's okay. Pick yourself up, walk again straight towards life, and tell yourself that you will do better. Tell yourself that you will do better. And I listened to a reel by Creflo Dollar saying that when that happens, so basically what we are saying is that there are times where we do something like that, but for how long? For how long will you always be doing this? God, the Holy Spirit, wants us to take us to a place where we are more in control, whether it be of our emotions, of how we feel, things like jealousy. He wants to take us there. But for now, whenever you get yourself to that point, that smirk of jealousy, that smirk of criticism and unnecessary criticism, that smirk of what else? What do people do now? Lies, that smirk of changing the statement to be a little bit much better than what it is. That when that happens, next time for you to just become better, that when that happens, you always know that God will always be there for you and He will speak to you. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is there are two things. When you are at that point, forgive yourself, forgive the other person. If you have to go tell the person that it was unnecessary, let me reconcile with you, do that. If not, it's fine. But pick yourself up and continue to walk towards life without your tail behind your legs and between your legs, and just smile and embrace the goodness of the Lord, that God will always have His hand for you. He will always be rooting for you, and do better. Like what Creflo Dollar was saying, do better. Let's do better, guys. Let's do better, and fight as much as possible to get to where the Holy Spirit wants to take us. So great are you, Lord. Let me finish this last 15 minutes by singing. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Great are you, Lord. Thank you very much. Cheers. We do